Welcome to the Learn and Talk English podcast.
We are so glad to have you here with us today.
We really are. And imagine stepping onto a crowded city bus in New York or maybe London.
Right, a very busy place.
Exactly. And you need to ask the driver a simple question about your stop, but suddenly your mind just goes completely blank.
Oh, that is the worst feeling.
It really is. Your heart races. You are sweating. I mean, you know the words in your native language, obviously, but the English words are just, well, they're locked away.
And today, we are not just giving you the vocabulary to survive that specific moment.
No, we are doing much more than that.
Right.
We're exploring the fascinating psychology of how your daily habits and your routines and your self-control can actually ensure that mental freeze never happens again.
Because here at Learn and Talk English, we are providing high-quality educational material to help you, the listener, improve your English step by step.
Step by step, exactly. We have a very special extended lesson prepared for you today.
Yes, this is a long, simple, educational, and highly engaging podcast designed specifically for English learners.
We are going to speak clearly. We will, use simple words to explain some really complex, fascinating ideas.
And we will also pause and repeat important sentences naturally within our conversation.
Right, because this allows you to practice speaking out loud and building your confidence wherever you are right now.
We really want you to actively participate. When we highlight a phrase, try saying it out loud with us.
Yeah, it literally physically helps your brain build new connections. So our mission today is to master the language of our daily lives.
We are going to start with the psychology of morning routines.
Then we will look at how to set clear, achievable goals for learning English.
After that, we will uncover the science of building good habits and, mastering self-control.
And finally, instead of just reading a boring list of emotion words, we are going to tell a series of stories.
Right, stories help so much.
They do. They help you deeply understand the vocabulary of human feelings.
In the past, people might have told you that learning English is like building a house.
Right, where grammar is the cement and vocabulary is the bricks.
Exactly. But let us use a better mental picture today. Learning daily vocabulary is actually like paving a road in a brand new city.
Oh, I love that image. I mean, when you first start learning English, you are hiking through thick mud.
Yeah, it is slow and messy.
Every single step is difficult. Translating every word in your head takes massive amounts of mental energy. You get tired so quickly.
Exactly. But every time you learn a word and use it in your daily routine, you are throwing down a smooth piece of asphalt.
You are paving the road.
Yes, you are paving the road, and once that road is paved through repetition, your thoughts just drive themselves.
You do not even have to think about the words, they just appear.
And today, we are paving the main highway of your life, which is the words you use every single day.
So to you, our listener, I invite you to get comfortable right now. Grab a cup of coffee or, perhaps a warm cup of tea.
Sit back, prepare to listen, and get ready to pave some new roads in your mind.
Let us begin with the most common topic in the world, which is your daily schedule.
Because if you meet a new friend anywhere in the world, the very first thing they will ask you is what you do every day.
Right, like what is your routine? To speak English naturally, you first need to describe your own life automatically.
And in the medical and psychological fields, we actually call these actions activities of daily living, or ADLs.
Okay, let us unpack that phrase a bit. Activities of daily living. Why do experts study these basic chores and grooming tasks?
Well, because these basic actions, cooking, cleaning, brushing your teeth, putting on clothes, managing your money, they require energy.
We do them to take care of ourselves.
Right, but there is a fascinating psychological concept called decision
Fatigue.
Yes. Every time you make a choice, your brain gets a little more tired.
So if I wake up and I have to think, what should I eat? What should I wear? Should I brush my teeth now or maybe later? I am burning brain power before I even leave the house.
Precisely. If you have a solid routine, you automate those choices. You save your brain power for harder things.
Like learning English.
Exactly, like learning English. That is why having the vocabulary to talk about your routines is so vital. It is the framework of your life.
Well, let us practice the rhythm of some of these essential actions. Listen to how naturally these flow and say them with us.
Brush my teeth, put on my clothes, cook my food.
Great job. Now let us break down the very beginning of the day, the morning routine.
This is where many English learners fall into a trap with two very specific phrases.
Oh, I know these. Wake up and get up.
Yes.
I used to teach a student who would say, I got up at 6. but I woke up at 6:30.
Oh, wow.
And I had to explain that unless they were sleepwalking, that is physically impossible.
That is hilarious. But let us clear this up for our listener. It is a great distinction to make.
Right.
Wake up means your eyes open. Your brain moves from a state of sleep to a state of being awake. You are conscious.
Okay, so wake up is just the brain turning on.
Yes. Get up, however, is a physical action. It means you move your body out of the bed and actually stand on your feet.
And the reality is, most of us wake up, but we really do not want to get up.
Not at all.
Let us talk about the psychology of the snooze button.
The snooze button. It is a small button on an alarm clock or a mobile phone that silences the alarm for about, well, usually 9 minutes.
Right, 9 minutes to go back to sleep.
Exactly. When your alarm rings at 6 in the morning, you wake up. But it is cold outside and the bed is so warm.
So warm. So you hit the snooze button.
And when you hit that button, you suffer from something scientists call sleep inertia.
Sleep inertia. That sounds serious.
It just means you confuse your brain. Your brain thinks it is going back into a deep sleep cycle, but then 9 minutes later, the alarm rings again.
Oh, I hate that feeling. You feel even more tired.
Yes. So you might wake up at 6, hit snooze twice, and finally get up at 6:20.
Before we move on to the rest of the morning, we need to talk about how to construct these sentences grammatically.
Right. There is a specific rule we use when talking about our daily routines. It is the simple present tense.
The simple present tense.
We use this for habits, facts, and things we do regularly. We say, I go to work.
Wait, let me challenge that for a moment. What if I am trying to build a brand new habit right now?
Okay.
Can I say, I am drinking more water these days, or I am waking up early this week?
That is a brilliant question. Yes, you can use the present continuous, which is the I am doing form, when a habit is temporary or brand new.
Ah, temporary.
Right. If you usually wake up late, but just for this week you are changing it, you can say, I am waking up early this week.
That makes sense.
However, when you are describing the permanent, solid structure of your daily life, you drop the am and the ing, you revert to the simple present.
Like I wake up, I eat, I commute.
Exactly. Let us practice that solid structure. Say with us, I wake up at 7.
I wake up at 7.
I make coffee.
I make coffee.
I get dressed.
I get dressed.
Perfect.
Now your road is paved for the morning. You are
It's-
awake, you are dressed, and it is time to leave the house. This brings us to transportation and commuting.
Yes, commuting is the journey from your home to your workplace or school.
And here we encounter one of the strangest rules in the English language, honestly.
Yeah.
When we talk about entering a vehicle, we use phrasal verbs, but we use different prepositions depending on the vehicle.
It is so confusing.
We say get on the bus, but get in the car. Why is that?
This confuses almost every single person learning English. It feels completely random, but there is actually a historical and physical logic to it.
Oh, really?
Yes. Here is the rule to help you remember forever. We use the word on for vehicles that have a deck or a floor large enough for you to walk around inside while the vehicle is moving.
Okay, think about the physical space. If you enter a city bus, you can stand up straight.
Right.
You can walk down the aisle to find a seat. You are physically walking on the floor of the bus.
Exactly. The same is true for a train. You walk around on a train. You walk around on an airplane.
Because of this deck space, we say, I get on the bus, I get on the train, I get on the plane.
Conversely, you cannot stand up and walk around inside a car.
Definitely not.
A car is an enclosed box. When you enter a car, you must bend your body and sit down immediately.
Right. You are enclosing yourself in a small space.
Therefore, for smaller vehicles, we use the word in. You get in the car. You get in the taxi. You get in the truck.
That physical picture makes so much sense. But wait, I have to play devil's advocate here.
Go ahead.
What about a bicycle? You certainly cannot walk around inside a bicycle, but we say get on the bicycle. Why?
Well, that is the exception that proves the rule. For bicycles, motorcycles, and horses, you are not inside them at all.
Right.
You are placing your body on top of a surface. You sit on the surface of the bicycle seat, so we return to the word on. You get on the bike.
This is exactly why English is so wonderful and sometimes so frustrating. But once you know the physical reason, walking on a floor versus folding into a box, you never forget it.
Let us pave this road. Say it with us, picturing the physical action.
Get on the bus, get in the car.
Excellent.
So you have completed your commute. It takes maybe 30 minutes, and you arrive at work or school. When you arrive, you interact with the physical tools of your daily life.
Right, the things you use to do your job.
If you are a student or if you are taking an English class, you might open your binders and your notebooks.
And it is helpful to know the difference between these physical tools.
Yes, what is the difference?
A notebook usually has pages permanently bound together. A binder is a hardcover with metal rings inside. It allows you to add or remove loose pieces of paper.
Keeping these tools organized is part of your daily routine. And halfway through this busy day of work and organizing, you need to fuel your body.
Yes, lunchtime.
This brings us to a crucial cultural and linguistic nuance. When midday arrives, you might want to say, I eat my lunch.
Grammatically, I eat my lunch is perfectly correct.
Right.
The verb eat accurately describes the physical action of putting food in your mouth. However, native English speakers almost universally prefer the phrase, have lunch.
Why do we say we have a meal?
Because in English culture, a meal is viewed as an experience, not just a biological function.
Okay, that makes sense.
When you have lunch, it implies a period of time. It implies sitting down, taking a break from work, perhaps talking with colleagues, and enjoying the food.
So you have breakfast, you have lunch, and you have dinner. It sounds so much warmer and more natural.
Try saying it that natural way with us.
I have lunch at noon. I take a break. And a short break is vital. It is when you step away from your desk for maybe 10 minutes, completely resting your mind before the second half of the day.
Finally, the afternoon ends. The vocabulary we use to describe leaving work is often finish work or get off work.
Notice the phrasal verb get off there again.
Yes, just like you get off a bus, you are physically removing yourself from the responsibility of the job. You get off work and you head home to relax.
But the real relaxation does not happen on a Tuesday evening. The real relaxation is reserved for the weekend.
Oh, definitely.
Let us contrast weekdays with weekends. Weekdays, Monday through Friday, are built on responsibility. You must follow the alarm clock. You must manage decision fatigue.
Weekends, however, are about freedom and resetting your nervous system.
On Saturday and Sunday, you do not have to set an alarm. You might choose to sleep in.
This is a wonderful phrasal verb. To sleep in means to intentionally sleep later than your usual waking time. It is a true luxury.
You sleep in, you meet friends, and you recharge your energy so you can start the routine again on Monday. Let us lock in this final piece of the daily schedule. Say it with us. I finish work at 6.
I finish work at 6.
On the weekend, I sleep in.
On the weekend, I sleep in. Excellent.
We have now mapped out the entire physical day. But here is the great challenge for you, our listener. Your day is already completely full.
It is packed.
You are commuting, working, having lunch, and resting. How on earth do you fit learning a language into a day that is already packed?
To do that successfully, you cannot just randomly study when you feel like it. You must set clear strategic goals.
Without a goal, you are just wandering in a dense forest. With a goal, you have a compass.
And when we talk about setting language goals, we must first recognize that a language is not just one thing.
Right.
It is actually 4 distinct skills working together: reading, writing, listening, and speaking.
Let us examine these closely. Reading and listening are what linguists call receptive skills. You are receiving information that someone else created.
Writing and speaking are productive skills. You are producing the language yourself from scratch.
Most people find the receptive skills slightly easier at first. For example, when you are reading a book, the words stay on the page. They do not move.
Right, you can pause.
If you do not understand a sentence, you can stop, look at it for 5 minutes, or check a dictionary. You control the speed.
But listening and speaking, those happen in real time.
I will admit my own struggles here. When I travel and try to speak a new language, I can read the signs perfectly.
Okay.
But when a native speaker talks to me, it feels like they are speaking at 100 miles an hour. The words vanish into the air before my brain can catch them. It is terrifying.
That terror is completely normal. That is why you must ask yourself, which of the 4 skills is currently my strongest, and which one do I urgently need to improve based on my real life?
We do not learn English just to pass a test. We learn it to navigate the real world.
Exactly. I want to paint a picture of some real-life scenarios. I want you, the listener, to vividly imagine yourself in these situations.
Feel the pressure and understand why your English goals matter so much.
Imagine you are shopping at a massive supermarket in a new country. You are holding a box of food, but your child has a severe peanut allergy.
Oh, that is scary.
This is not about passing a grammar test. This is about safety. You must be able to read the small print on the food label to ensure there are no nuts.
Your goal here is precise. Reading comprehension for health and safety.
Next, imagine a communication scenario. You are sitting at home and the telephone rings.
For an English learner, a ringing telephone can cause a spike of pure anxiety.
Yes, you cannot see the person's face, you cannot see their hand gestures, you only have their voice.
You must answer it and speak clearly. Your goal here is building auditory processing speed.
Or consider your housing situation. You are renting an apartment. In the middle of the night, a pipe bursts in the kitchen.
Oh no.
Water is flooding the floor. You have to call your landlord or a plumber immediately.
You cannot pause to translate the words leak, flood, or emergency in your head. The water is rising. You need the productive skill of speaking under pressure.
Let us look at healthcare. You feel terrible pain in your chest. You arrive at the hospital. A doctor with a clipboard looks at you and says, "Can you describe the exact nature of the pain?"
If you cannot express your symptoms, you cannot get the right help.
Finally, think about your career. You are looking for a better job to support your family. You are sitting in an interview.
The supervisor asks, "What are your greatest strengths?" You must project confidence, maintain eye contact, and speak eloquently in English.
When you visualize these high-stakes, real-world moments, protecting your child's health, saving your apartment, getting a promotion, you realize that saying, "I want to learn English," is just too vague.
You need specific goals to handle specific moments.
In psychology, we divide goals into two categories to keep the brain motivated: long-range goals and short-range goals.
Okay, what is a long-range goal?
A long-range goal is your ultimate destination. It might be 1 to 5 years away. For example, I want to be able to sit in a business meeting and understand every joke my colleagues make without translating.
That is a massive long-range goal. But if you only have a long-range goal, you will probably quit.
Why is that?
Because day after day, you will feel like you are failing. The mountain is just too high. This is why you must have short-range goals.
Exactly. A short-range goal gives you a quick hit of dopamine, which is the reward chemical in your brain.
A short-range goal is achievable in 1 to 6 months. It might be, by the end of this month, I will learn 50 words related to plumbing and housing.
Or, by next week, I will read one simple children's book out loud without stopping.
When you hit that short-range goal, your brain celebrates. You get a burst of energy to keep going. Let us state a goal out loud right now. Make it real. Say it with us. My goal is to read a book in English.
My goal is to read a book in English.
I want to speak to a doctor clearly.
I want to speak to a doctor clearly. You have your daily schedule. You have your map of goals. Now, we arrive at the engine that actually drives you to the destination.
We must talk about habits and time management. A goal without a good habit is just a fantasy.
Yes. In his famous book, Atomic Habits, author James Clear explains that we do not rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems.
A habit is a system. Let us define what a habit actually is neurologically.
A habit is a behavior that has been repeated so many times that it becomes automatic. It operates on a 3-part loop: a cue, a routine, and a reward.
Let us break that loop down. Suppose your goal is to study English for 20 minutes every night. What is the cue?
The cue is a trigger. It could be finishing your dinner. As soon as you put your dinner plate in the sink, that is the cue.
Okay.
The routine is the action. You immediately sit at your desk and open your English notebook.
Then a reward.
The reward is the feeling of satisfaction. Maybe enjoying a piece of dark chocolate or feeling proud as you check a box on your calendar.
A good habit supports your overall life. We often think of studying as separate from our physical health, but they are deeply connected.
Oh, absolutely. Let us talk about physical habits that improve language learning.
The brain is a biological organ. It requires resources. Eating healthy food, avoiding heavy fast food that causes energy crashes, and drinking enough water are foundational.
Your brain is mostly water. Dehydration causes brain fog, making it impossible to memorize vocabulary.
And the most important physical habit for learning is sleep. Why is getting 8 hours of sleep so critical for an English learner?
Because of memory consolidation. When you learn new English words during the day, they are stored in a temporary part of your brain.
Like a short-term file.
Exactly. During the deep stages of REM sleep at night, your brain actually transfers those words into long-term memory.
Wait, really?
Yes. If you cut your sleep short to study more, you are literally preventing your brain from saving the information.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Sleeping well is actually studying. Let us practice vocalizing a good habit. Say it with us.
I drink plenty of water.
I
I read books every night.
Now, even if you know how habits work, you still face the greatest modern excuse: I have no time.
Oh, we hear that all the time.
Time management is how you construct your day. How do we find the time?
The truth is, everyone has the exact same 24 hours. It is about allocation. The first tool for time management is creating a daily timetable.
You visually map out your day. You block out 8 hours for work. You block out 8 hours for sleep. You block out commuting.
And suddenly, you see white space. You see empty boxes of time.
Those empty boxes are where the magic happens. You must dedicate that time. To dedicate means to fiercely protect that time and give all your energy to one task.
Another fantastic tool is making lists. I know you're a big fan of this.
I'm absolutely obsessive about making lists. Obsessive means I do it constantly. I cannot stop. But there is a neurological reason for it.
Right.
When you write tasks down, you remove them from your working memory. You stop worrying about forgetting them.
And the physical act of taking a pen and crossing a completed task off a list, it feels incredible.
It releases dopamine. It proves you're moving forward.
However, there is a danger to list making. If you write down 30 things you want to do today, the list becomes overwhelming.
Oh, let us talk about that word, overwhelming.
Sure.
Think of the image of a massive wave of water crashing over you.
You cannot breathe, you cannot swim.
That is what an overwhelming list feels like. It is so big that you feel paralyzed. You end up doing nothing at all.
To cure the feeling of being overwhelmed, you must prioritize. To prioritize means to ruthlessly decide what is the single most important task.
There is a famous time management concept called eat.
The frog.
Yes. If you have to eat a live frog, do it first thing in the morning. Everything else will seem easy.
Ah, I see.
If studying English is your priority, do it first. Do not push it to 11 p.m. when your brain is exhausted.
I want to add one surprising tip for time management. Meal preparation on Sundays.
How does cooking relate to managing your time for English?
It goes back to decision fatigue. If you devote 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon, devote meaning to give your time entirely to cooking healthy meals and putting them in the refrigerator, you change your entire week.
On Wednesday evening when you're tired from work, you do not have to think about dinner.
You do not order greasy takeaway food, you eat a healthy meal quickly, and suddenly you have an extra free hour to study.
That is a perfect system. You manage your diet to manage your energy, to manage your time. We have outlined the perfect system. We know about routines, goals, habits, and time management.
But let us be painfully honest with you, our listener. Knowing the perfect system and actually doing it are two entirely different things.
Yes, human beings are not robots. You will have days where you feel lazy. You will have days where the couch looks much more appealing than the English textbook.
This is where we encounter the ultimate challenge. Self-control.
Control or discipline is the ability to manage your impulses. It is the ability to choose what you want most in the long term over what you want now in the short term.
Let us provide a stark example. You come home from a difficult day at work. Your brain is tired.
Your short-term desire is to sit on the couch and watch television. That feels good right now.
But your long-term desire is to speak English fluently so you can get a better job.
Self-control is the bridge between those two desires. It is the strength to say no to the television and yes to 10 minutes of studying.
And today, self-control is harder than ever before in human history.
Why is that?
Because we carry the greatest distraction device ever invented right in our pockets, the mobile phone.
We must understand that social media apps and short videos are not just harmless entertainment. They are engineered by thousands of brilliant scientists to hijack your brain's dopamine system.
They're designed like slot machines in a casino. When you scroll, you get a tiny hit of pleasure. You look up, and 2 hours have vanished.
It is terrifying. So how do we use self-control to defeat a device designed to addict us? Do we just try harder?
No, trying harder usually fails because willpower is a limited resource. The most effective technique for self-control is environmental
Design.
Do not fight the phone, remove the phone. Out of sight, out of mind. When it is time to study English, leave your phone in the kitchen.
Walk into the bedroom and close the door.
If the phone is physically in another room, the effort required to go get it is usually enough to break the impulse.
That is brilliant. Make the bad habit difficult and make the good habit easy. Put your English book on your pillow so you have to touch it before you sleep.
Exactly. Another way to improve self-control is to start incredibly small. This sounds counterintuitive.
People think they need massive discipline. They say, I am going to study English for 3 hours every day.
But that requires too much willpower. You will quit by Wednesday.
Instead, tell yourself, I am only going to study for 5 minutes. Anyone can do 5 minutes. You sit down, you open the book.
But the secret is, once you start, the friction is gone. You almost always end up studying for 20 minutes. The hardest part is simply starting.
You should also utilize the power of replacement. If you have a bad habit of snacking on potato chips while you study, do not just sit there feeling hungry and miserable.
Your brain will hate studying.
Replace the bad habit with a slightly better one. Eat crunchy carrots or fresh fruit. You still get the physical sensation of eating, but it is healthier.
And finally, when talking about self-control, we must discuss self-compassion. Many learners are incredibly strict with themselves.
If they miss one day of studying, they feel a deep sense of shame. They think, I ruined my streak. I am a failure.
That perfectionist mindset is a trap. If you are too strict, one mistake makes you want to quit entirely. You must embrace the 1% rule.
The 1% rule, the goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency.
If you miss a day, acknowledge it, forgive yourself immediately, and start again the next day. Small, consistent actions over a year create massive transformations.
This journey we are discussing, changing your habits, fighting distractions, forgiving your mistakes, and learning a new language, is not just a logical process of memorizing grammar.
It is a profoundly emotional journey.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
You will experience soaring highs and frustrating lows. And to truly express yourself in your new language, you cannot just know the vocabulary for buying train tickets.
You must know the vocabulary of the human soul. You must be able to articulate how you feel.
Which brings us to the final and perhaps most important section of our deep exploration today. We are going to master the vocabulary of emotions.
But we are not going to read a boring list like a dictionary. We are going to explore these emotions through stories to see how they look and feel in the real world.
Let us begin with the emotions of joy and surprise. Imagine this scenario. You have been planning a secret party for your best friend for a month.
You coordinated with all their family members, you bought a beautiful cake, and you decorated their apartment while they were at work.
Your friend unlocks the door, walks into the dark apartment, and suddenly everyone jumps out and yells, "Surprise!"
In that exact moment, your friend experiences being surprised. To be surprised means encountering something completely unexpected.
It is a shock, but in this context, a wonderful one. They did not anticipate the party.
As the party continues, someone hires a comedian to tell jokes. The comedian is hilarious. As you listen, you feel amused.
To be amused means you are finding something funny, entertaining, or pleasant. You are smiling. Your brain is enjoying the entertainment.
And looking around the room, seeing all the people you love gathered together, laughing and sharing food, you feel a deep sense of being happy.
Happiness is not just a quick thrill. It is a profound state of pleasure and contentment. You are happy when you are connected to the people you care about.
Let us transition to a much harder story. Life is not always parties. Let us explore the emotions of sadness and fear.
Imagine you have just moved to a brand new country to find work. You are living in a small, empty apartment in a city where it rains constantly. It is your first week.
You look out the window at the gray sky, and you realize you miss your family desperately. You feel sad.
Sadness is the natural sorrow we feel when we experience a loss or a separation.
But the feeling deepens. You try to call your family, but the time zones are different. No one answers. Now, the sadness turns into feeling lonely.
Loneliness is a specific type of sadness. It is the painful awareness that you are by yourself and disconnected from others. You crave human interaction, but the room is empty.
A few days later, you catch a terrible virus. You have a fever, your body aches, and you have no one to make you soup. Now you feel miserable.
Miserable combines extreme physical discomfort with deep emotional unhappiness. It's a heavy, dark word.
And if this situation continues for months, if you cannot find work, if the rain never stops and the isolation grows, you might feel depressed.
Depression is more than just a bad day. It is a long-lasting, suffocating mood where your energy disappears and hope feels impossible to find.
While you are lying in bed feeling miserable, your mind starts to worry about the future. You only have a little money left in your bank account.
What if you cannot pay rent next month? What if you never find a job? This feeling is being anxious.
Let us pause here because this is crucial. What is the exact difference between being anxious and being afraid or frightened?
Yes, I wonder about that.
It's about time and proximity. Anxiety is about the unknown future. You are nervous about something that might happen tomorrow or next month.
Fear is about an immediate present threat.
I see. So worrying about paying rent next month makes you anxious.
But if you are walking home at night and a massive, aggressive dog suddenly jumps out of the shadows and growls at you, you do not feel anxious. You feel afraid or frightened.
Your heart pounds instantly because the danger is right in front of your face.
Exactly. And if that dog actually bit you, or if a friend betrayed your trust by lying to you, you would feel hurt.
Hurt applies to physical wounds, but also to deep emotional wounds caused by someone's actions.
Finally, if you open your mail and see an unexpected medical bill for $10,000, you feel shocked. Shocked is an intense, sudden burst of disbelief and fear mixed together.
That is a tough story. But let us move to a different type of intense emotion: anger and confusion.
Let us tell the story of the broken car. You are driving to an important job interview. You are wearing your best suit. Suddenly, your car engine starts smoking and the car dies in the middle of the road.
Initially, as you pull over to the side of the road, you feel confused. You do not understand what is happening. The car was working fine yesterday.
You open the hood and look at the engine. You are completely puzzled.
Puzzled is a great word. It means your brain is trying to solve a mystery, but the pieces do not fit together.
You realize you're going to be late for your interview. Now the confusion turns into feeling frustrated.
Frustration is a very specific emotion. It is the upset feeling you get when you are blocked from achieving your goal and you have no power to change it.
English learners know this feeling well when they cannot remember a word.
As you stand in the rain, waiting for a tow truck, a passing car drives right through a massive puddle of muddy water, splashing it all over your expensive suit.
Oh, that is awful.
The frustration instantly boils over into feeling angry. Anger is strong displeasure and hostility toward an injustice.
And wait, it gets worse. You finally get to a repair shop and the mechanic tells you he purposely broke a wire in your engine last week so you would have to pay him more money today.
Now, you are not just angry. You are enraged.
Enraged is the absolute maximum level of anger. It is explosive, uncontrollable fury. Your blood is boiling.
Yeah.
While you are dealing with this disaster, your teenage son is sitting in the waiting room of the repair shop. He does not care about the car or the money. He is staring at the wall, yawning.
He feels bored. Boredom is the painful lack of mental stimulation. He is also completely indifferent to your crisis.
Indifferent means showing zero care, interest, or emotional reaction to a situation.
That story covers the spectrum of conflict perfectly. Now, let us tell one final story to explore our social and self-conscious emotions.
These are the complex feelings we experience based on how other people judge us.
Imagine you are invited to a very fancy, elegant dinner party. You do not know anyone there except the host. When you arrive, you stand quietly in the corner. You do not want to talk to anyone.
You are feeling bashful and withdrawn.
Bashful means feeling shy and easily intimidated, especially when receiving attention. Withdrawn means you actively pull your energy inward. You create a wall around yourself in social situations.
But then you see a man across the room. He's wearing a stunning custom-made suit, and he is telling stories that make everyone laugh.
You look at his suit and his confidence, and you feel envious. Envy means you desire a quality or an object that someone else possesses. You want his confidence.
Suddenly, you notice your own husband or wife is staring at this charming man, laughing loudly at all his jokes and ignoring you.
Oh, the envy transforms into being jealous. Jealousy is darker than envy. Jealousy involves the fear of losing a relationship or someone's attention to a rival.
You decide to walk over and join the conversation, but as you step forward, you trip over a rug.
You fall forward, and your glass of red wine crashes all over the host's pristine white carpet. The entire room goes dead silent and stares at you.
Your face flushes bright red. You feel intensely embarrassed. Embarrassment is the acute discomfort of feeling foolish or inadequate in front of an audience. It is a social mistake.
You scramble to clean it up, apologizing profusely. "I'm so sorry," you say. Being sorry means expressing genuine regret for causing an accident or a bad situation.
But as you try to clean it, you accidentally knock over an expensive antique vase, shattering it into a million pieces.
Now, the embarrassment deepens into feeling ashamed. Shame is much heavier than embarrassment. Embarrassment is about looking clumsy. Shame is the feeling that you are fundamentally flawed or have done something deeply morally wrong.
You find out the vase belonged to the host's great-grandmother. You realize you cannot fix it. You feel immense guilt.
Guilt is the specific recognition that you have committed an offense or broken a rule that harms someone else.
To distract everyone from the disaster, another guest decides to act completely crazy. They put a lampshade on their head and start dancing on the table.
In this context, crazy means acting wild, unpredictable, and throwing away all social rules.
The host looks at this dancing guest, then looks at the ruined carpet and wrinkles their nose in disgust. They feel disgusted.
Disgust is a powerful physical and emotional reaction of revulsion. It is the feeling of being grossed out by something sickening or highly offensive.
Meanwhile, the man in the beautiful suit who didn't spill anything looks at you struggling on the floor with a slight, arrogant smile on his face. He looks smug.
Smugness is an irritating, highly self-satisfied expression. It communicates, I am better than you and I know it.
Finally, as you leave the party, you notice a strange man hiding in the bushes near your car, watching the guests. You feel suspicious.
Suspicion is the cautious feeling that someone is doing something wrong or dangerous, even if you do not have definitive proof yet. Your instincts are on high alert.
That dinner party was an emotional roller coaster, but by placing those words into a narrative, we see the subtle differences between them.
Envy versus jealousy, embarrassment versus shame. Understanding these nuances is what makes you fluent.
But knowing the words is only half the battle. Our listeners are going to feel these difficult emotions while learning English.
They are going to feel frustrated when they forget a word. They might even feel ashamed if they make a mistake speaking to a native speaker. We cannot just label the emotions, we must know how to manage them.
This is critical. Emotional regulation is the secret weapon of successful learners. When a negative emotion like frustration builds up, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone.
Your heart rate increases. Your breathing becomes shallow.
If you do not manage this physiological reaction, your brain literally shuts down its learning centers. You cannot learn when you are stressed.
So, if I am trying to read a difficult English article and I'm getting frustrated, how do I stop that feeling from hijacking my brain?
The fastest way to hack your nervous system is through your breath. When you are frustrated, you take short, shallow breaths. To reverse the emotion, you must consciously reverse the breathing.
There's a technique called the physiological sigh. How does that work?
You stop looking at the book, you take a quick deep breath in through your nose, followed immediately by a second smaller breath in to fully expand the lungs.
Then you let out a long, slow exhale through your mouth.
Doing this just 3 times physically forces your heart rate to slow down. It sends a chemical signal to your brain that says, you are safe, it is just a language, it is not a lion chasing you. The frustration melts away.
That is incredibly practical, taking 2 inhales and 1 long exhale. Another fantastic way to process heavier emotions, like feeling anxious about a job interview or feeling lonely in a new country, is journaling.
Yes, a journal is a private notebook where you write down your thoughts. Why is it so effective?
Because emotions in your head were chaotic. They swirl around like a storm. But when you force yourself to write them down, especially if you try writing them down in English, you have to slow down.
You take the emotion out of your body and pin it onto the paper. You suddenly realize, I am not a miserable person. I am just experiencing a temporary feeling of anxiety. Plus, it is fantastic writing practice.
It connects everything we have talked about today. You are using an activity of daily living, which is writing, to practice a habit, which manages your emotions, which helps you reach your long-range goal.
We have journeyed through so much today. We have paved miles and miles of new roads in your mind.
We started by breaking down the daily schedule, understanding why we get up and why we get on the bus while we get in the car.
We explored the vital importance of setting both long-range and short-range goals across reading, writing, listening, and speaking, linking them to real-world survival scenarios like supermarkets and hospitals.
We dove into the neuroscience of habits, learning how sleep, water, and meal prepping on Sunday can magically create more time in your week.
We confronted the modern distraction of the mobile phone, learning to design our environments for better self-control.
And finally, we walked through the vivid stories of human emotion, learning the subtle shades of joy, fear, anger, and shame, and acquiring the breathing techniques necessary to stay calm and keep learning.
As we conclude this extensive session, I want to leave you, our listener, with a final, slightly philosophical thought.
There's a concept in linguistics that suggests the language you speak actually shapes the way you see the world.
Yes, the idea that words are not just labels for reality. Words actually create your reality.
Exactly. Think about it. If you only know the word angry, every time something goes wrong, your brain categorizes it as anger and your body reacts with stress.
But if you learn the word frustrated or puzzled, you give your brain a lighter, less stressful option. The words you use to describe your day dictate how you experience your life.
By learning English, you are not just memorizing a textbook, you are literally expanding your universe. You are building positive routines, you are gaining immense self-control, and you are taking command of your own story.
Every single word you learn is a victory. Please remember to be incredibly patient with yourself. Language learning is not a sprint, it is a lifelong marathon.
Forgive your mistakes quickly, because mistakes are proof that you are courageously trying.
We are so grateful that you dedicated this time to us today. You did the hard work. You listened, you engaged, and you practiced.
Before you go, we have one small request. If you found this session valuable, please subscribe and like this podcast.
It truly helps our channel grow so we can continue providing this high-quality educational material to learners all over the world.
And we want to see your progress. Go down to the comments section right now. Leave a comment using one new emotion word or one new daily routine phrase that you learned today.
Show us the roads you were paving.
We read every comment, and we cannot wait to see your sentences. Thank you for listening to the Learn and Talk English podcast. Keep practicing, keep learning, and we will see you next time.